Hi, my name is Chelsea Slattery, and this is my introduction video for data analysis and assessment. I am from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I have my associates in paralegal. I'm from Corinthian College. I have my bachelor's in education from the University of Phoenix. After putting out 83 applications and not receiving any hits, I put my application in at Dodge City, Kansas. I am currently teaching there and will never go back. I am now currently getting my master's in ESOL. I have one daughter, 2 cats, Fat Cat Leo, 3-legged Leia, 2 huskies, 2-year-old Maya, and 2-month-old Max. I have 20 students, 5 students that are autistic, 1 receiving other services, 2 non-English speakers, 2 nonverbals, 5 students that will not be taking ESOL tests. We have a very high population of ESOL students. In the district, we are very high in free and reduced lunches, high population of ESOL, high poverty population, and high Hispanic population. And my school BSIN, we are the second highest in ESOL, free and reduced, and poverty. We have, as I stated before, we have very high needs in special education. We have a high number of nomadic students. In the district, our data is housed in FileMaker. We used to do 6 traits. We have KELPA and IPT. We have state testing, math assessments, running records, sentence dictation, spelling inventory, past kindergarten checklist, and scholastic reading and math inventory. Not all the grades do all of them. I'm just listing what the district has us do. In my class, my kindergarten classroom, it goes in order of the year. We start out with the kindergarten checklist, then we go to the past, sentence dictation, and running records due before Christmas. This March we'll be doing KELPA. Throughout the year we have our math assessments, which is Engage New York, and then the IPT. My first year I just did the assessments, except the state. Kind of did it because they told me to. I used the running records as my guided reading groups. I didn't do much with any of the other assessments, didn't really understand them all. The KELPA scores were used for interventions. Did not do much with the math because it was new to the district. Our discrepancies for them with the mandatory curriculum, we were not able to go out and about and find other things that might help our students, really. I know some of the other schools did it anyways. We would get in trouble at our school. The grading on the math were all different. They weren't all the same with all the teachers. The teachers did the test differently throughout the district. So the discrepancies there was not a lot of the cohesiveness in the school district. The SRI and SMI, which is the Scholastics Reading and Math Inventory, found out they were timed, and if the kids took longer because they needed the time to process, it would dock their score. The second year of my teaching in 2nd grade, the same assessments were done, still used running records, and then we started looking at the math scores. Not hard, but we started looking at them. We received more training in how the students can help self-monitor. We also had training on our math to help us do better with our students, teaching it. We also, as a school, looked at the math a little bit more. Still the same discrepancies where some of the school districts were still doing other things. And then we found out that the state standards were not really mixed well with what the curriculums we were teaching. So then 3rd year came along, and we had more freedom in our classrooms to align with the state standards. We did a lot less testing. If the students were on or above grade level, in 2nd grade, they did not have to do past, and then we also didn't have to do running records on them as much. We only had to do it twice a year. If they were below, they were still 4 times a year. Of course, we still did informal data, but for the big district data, we only had to do it twice a year. Past, we got a new training book, so that was impressive because then I got to see where that stuff helped and did not help. As a school, we decided to do interventions for math and reading. Per grade level, we chose which we would do math or reading, and most of them chose at some points they would do math, some points they would do reading. In the 4th year, I got into a new grade, which this grade I felt like I'm using more data to help my students, especially with the Kinder Skill checklist. I have been able to put my groups into, okay, these students already know their sounds and letters, so they can be in this group and I can start working on more reading skills, which other groups, they were not, so then I put them in a different group where I could still work on sounds and letters and sight words. It would also help with the math, because if the students could not count to 1 to 10, write 1 to 10, or even know their numbers from 1 to 10, I knew to put them in my math groups differently. I was able to break apart my kids better to help them for math with what they needed to learn. As of right now, I'm able to go back to whole group teaching for math because most of my kids are still up to grade level, knowing their letters and sounds and numbers. We still do past. That is something that starts in December, so I'm able to now, instead of using the Kinder Skill checklist for my guided reading groups, I am now putting them as running records and past. So if they were able to get really good on their running records, but then their past was still low, I kind of held them back a little in the running record groups because I felt if they're not strong here, then they need to be stronger in past than they are in running records. The math assessments I'm using to gauge if they're getting their math but not as strong as the reading skills. The Kinder skills is what really helps me set the stage for math. Now, since I do their homework pieces as like an exit ticket, I'm able to gauge on a daily basis if the students are grasping the concept or not. But other than that, thank you very much, and hope to hear from you guys soon.